I'm going to be sharing with you a series of eye stretches that I learned from the Shivananda Yoga Ashram that tonify the optic nerve, which is also part of the brain, in an effort to release toxins that are stored and carried in the optic nerve, and to tonify our brains and our capacity to use them effectively. So these stretches move in different directions, and I'll be guiding you through them. But before we do that, I just invite everybody who's watching this to take a minute, take 3 breaths to land, and to consciously come into this moment, into our bodies, into our breath, into awareness of our own experience. So the first series of these stretches, we're going to be looking vertically up and down and taking our eyes to a place where they are stretched but not strained. And I also want to mention that there is a wiring in our mammalian patterns that where our eyes go, our head will want to turn. So that's another little bit of a challenge or something to be mindful of, that we're going to try and just stretch the eyes as much as possible without having our head follow. So keeping the head as stationary as we're able. I'm going to invite you to inhale and stretch your eyes up. And smoothly bringing the eyes down as you exhale. 3 times. Inhaling up. Stretching. Exhaling down through the nose if possible. And 3rd time, inhaling up. And exhaling down. Noticing what that's like to do this. Bringing the eye center. Making a heat while you close your eyes. We're going to rub our hands and make a warm energy heat that we're going to cup our eyes with and give in thanks. And then gently just stroking down the forehead, over the eyelids, and off the cheeks 3 times. And bringing your eyes back to the horizon level. We're going to, again, keep our heads still if we can, and inhale, taking the eyes right across at that plane to stretch to the right. And then right across the horizon, scanning, exhaling to the left. And again, inhaling right, noticing if there's anywhere that your eyes jump rather than travel smoothly. And exhaling left. And inhaling to the right. And exhaling to the left. Stretching without straining, bringing the eyes forward, making more heat, closing the eyes. Cupping your hands over, creating more darkness and rest, giving thanks, and then gently from the bridge of the nose outward, stroking over the eyelids. Now those places where there's little jumps, those are said to be where there's toxins stored at that particular angle and range of the optic nerve. So one suggestion is that when you notice a little glitch like that, to go back and forth over it several times until the movement becomes smooth and is said to have released whatever is being held there. See what it's like for you to do this, if it's helpful, if it feels any differently for you. The third and final stretching sequence of this process is to make full circles. We're going to do 3 circles clockwise and 3 circles counterclockwise. And so I'm going to be going to my clockwise, which is to the right. It will look like to the left for you, but I encourage you to go to the right also. So inhaling and looking up, taking your eyes as if it's a clock when you're at 12 o'clock and starting to go around the face of the clock smoothly if you can. And if and when you notice any little jumps, like I just did at 17 minutes, bring your eyes back and forth over that spot and carry on until you find any other little jumps. And smoothly making your way around back up to what would be 12 o'clock. And just noticing what this feels like for you. If you can feel that stretch, hopefully it feels good. If it does not, maybe do it more subtly, or maybe don't do it at all. Just an opportunity to get to experience this set of neural patterns and optic nerve, cranial nerve that we don't often explore deliberately. And after 3 circles in the clockwise direction, closing your eyes, making a generous, grateful heat, and giving that to your eyes. And then bringing the gaze upward, we're going to go counterclockwise 3 times, trying to keep the head still, trying to be aware of glitches, little jumps that we can iron out and make the whole process very smooth and fluid. And if it's not too much to think about, you can also add the exhale as the eyes travel downward from what would be the 12 o'clock to the 6 o'clock. And inhale as they come up from the 6 to what would be the 12. And then bringing the eyes forward, center for the final energetic give back rest. And just breathing and noticing how that felt for you. What you notice in your eyes, or possibly your brain, or any other part of your body. And giving thanks for our eyes, for our vision, for our brain. So I learned these series of stretches from the Shivananda Yoga Ashram as tonifying and toxin eliminating procedures, but have subsequently learned through my trauma studies of 2 techniques that utilize the optic nerve and stretching it in particular positions, called brain spotting and observed experiential integration. They're, for all intents and purposes, the same as far as I can see. I think brain spotting came first by David Grand. But they address trauma that is stored as neural firing patterns in the optic nerve, as well as positive experiences that are encoded in a given position that we can resource and utilize when needed. And these techniques are very, very interesting. And if you have not experienced them or do not know about them, I encourage you to. But what's interesting for me here is just to note that they're addressing these practices, and the yoga practices are addressing the similar phenomena with different names, whether it is physical